Hey guys, this is Ragini, straight from the office of Consul General at New York. And tonight we really rediscover, I can say, that how we can change our food, how we can change the lifestyle to become really compassionate with our life. So I do believe that you guys will follow that as well. Let's hear from some of the speakers that how they can motivate you for tonight's event.
I have the privilege and the honor to welcome you on behalf of the World Vegan Region and Indian Consulate for the second Vegan Thanksgiving organized by the World Vegan. Well, today is a very special day. We started vegetarian vegan in 1992. We just completed 25 years in 2017, and 2018 we changed vegetarian vegan to the vegan. And this is the second vegan Thanksgiving. We are doing that, and thank you very much for coming over here. And I won't take your much time because we have so many items in our itinerary, and we would like to finish up everything. So I would like to introduce the captain of the Long Island, the New York chapters, Veena Savapati, to please come over here and take over from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitinji. Now I would like to request the Consul General, Honorable Sandeep Chakravarti, to come on the podium and say a few words.
Namaskar, good evening to all of you. Welcome to the Indian Consulate. First and foremost, I want to thank World Vegan Vision for partnering with us in organizing this Thanksgiving event. I would just like to place today's event in the context of the celebration of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi ji, and also this year we are celebrating the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev ji. On 12th of this month, we will have the inauguration of a special exhibition on the life and teachings of Guru Nanak Dev ji, and also a roundtable on the contribution of the Sikhs in America. That will be from 12:30 p.m. onwards on 12th on Gurpurab Day. So you are most cordially invited to that event as well. I would just like to speak a little bit about vegetarianism and veganism. As Indians, we are more comfortable with the concept of vegetarianism, but in the West, I think veganism is more understood and practiced. So I will leave it to the experts of World Vegan Vision to get into the details. But I thought I will share with you some of my own personal experiences of being a vegetarian sometimes, and dealing with vegetarians and living with vegetarians. So what it means. And also it is important to note that vegetarianism was very central to the life philosophy teachings of Mahatma Gandhi, and it is no wonder that on his birth anniversary we are having this event in the consulate, because I think he believed that vegetarianism allowed you to be in harmony with nature and maintain balance in your life. But what is being a vegetarian? It's not a very simple choice. It's not a binary choice. It is not only being a choice between being Shakahari or, as they say, Niramish, which is vegetarian, or Masahari or Amish, that is a meat eater or a non-vegetarian. In the West, as I said before, veganism is more prevalent, and that is with a lot of reason. I was looking at some data, and that says that Americans eat about a third less beef than they did in the 1970s, even though the average American consumes almost 215 pounds of meat per person per year, as per OECD data of 2016. So even here in the US, which we consider to be a very meat-eating country, here there is significant decline in meat consumption. There's something to note.
Tribute to Gandhiji and also our country, India. I would like to thank the Consul General for giving us an opportunity and a stage to present our art. And League Division for also giving us a great opportunity. They're a beautiful dancer. Just really quickly, we'll announce their name. We have Neha, Sanaya, Sumren, Sanya, and Jay, Roma, and Raika. And Ayushman as a Ghani. Thank you. Enjoy, guys.
and plaque, and I appreciate Mr. H.K. Shah for his services to promote the vegetarianism and veganism in the United States.
I'll just read the citation for the benefit of our audience. Presented to Harshat K. Shah, the founder and chairman of World Vegan Vision established in 1992. In recognition of his mission to promote vegetarian and vegan food for healthy lifestyle, for prevention of cruelty to animals, and to promote principles of ahimsa as his passion. We admire his generous philanthropy and passion for ahimsa. By Consulate General of India, Ahimsa Thanksgiving Celebration, November 8, 2019. Thank you.
I also like to invite Dr. Sanik. Please come on the stage. Dr. Sanik, please.
I never expected this. Thank you very much. Chakravarti ji, movements are going on for the vegetarian vegan. And request you, if you can also introduce in the council the vegetarian food for the lunch, dinner and breakfast, whatever you are eating. If not today, try to make it near future. I will appreciate on behalf of all our community. Today is Gandhi Jayanti, 150 years. Vegan Jayanti, vegan was started 75 years ago, 1st of November. Today is 75 years of the veganism in the world. And our organization has completed today 27 years and entering 28 years. I don't have to say anything about it because it is well known now. Fast movement, time has changed, and we have to walk with the time. It is veganism. And one of our most important doctors is here, Dr. Srenik sir, top vegan person who explains in details everything, every day in all our functions.
Honorable Consul General, distinguished guests, welcome to Awakening World Vegan Vision. Vegan diets are rapidly becoming very popular in the world today. Celebrities are embracing the diet for health and life benefits. Famous musician Beyonce, Hollywood stars Natalie Portman and Brad Pitt, Bollywood stars Amir Khan, Sonakshi Sinha, and former President Bill Clinton are just some of the few of the increasing many who find strength, energy, and wellness through veganism. Vegan athletes have edged in competitions. Dr. Neil Barnard notes plant-based diets improve heart performance in endurance sports. Tennis champion Serena Williams, Venus Williams, famous football player Derek Morgan, Formula One's Lewis Hamilton, and cricket player Virat Kohli, and many more have converted to veganism. Vegan foods are better for the environment, reduce carbon footprint, and are ecologically more favorable. Veganism promotes higher consumption of nutrient-rich fruits and vegetables that improve heart health, reduce cancer rates, lower blood pressure, and reduce diabetes. As veganism becomes increasingly popular, we can be proud to plant seeds of change naturally and effectively. We create a positive change in others by making the change in ourselves. Happy Fall and happy Thanksgiving to you all. Thank you for coming to celebrate with us. Please have a wonderful time tonight. Anthony Williams, supporter of veganism, said, "Our purpose is simple, to love each other, to love all life, and to love our earth.
Before I start, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of a holy person in the room, Daya Shankar Vidyalankarji, Honorable CG, and all the past presidents, H.K. Shahji, Malti Shahji, outgoing President Binaji. I'd like to start with a quote from the same famous actor that Chandraji mentioned in her speech, Natalie Portman. Everyone has to find what is right for them, and it is different for everyone. Eating, for me, is how you proclaim your beliefs 3 times a day. That is why all religions have rules about eating. Again, this is a quote by Natalie Portman. 3 times a day, I remind myself that I value life and do not want to cause pain or kill other living beings. That is why I eat the way I do. Friends, I was not a vegetarian or vegan from early age. 2 things influenced me to become a vegetarian some 20 years ago. One was my marriage to my wife Deepika, who's actually attending a wedding in Toronto, so she's not here today. So one was that, my marriage to Deepika, who was a total vegetarian right from childhood on. And second reason I became a vegetarian, and I am announcing it publicly probably for the first time, that I became friends with H.K. Shahji and Malti Shah some 30 years ago. Me and wife both became friends with them because of their interest in music. They're very versatile people, by the way. You only know about their vegetarian side. They're big proponents of Indian music as well. And my friendship with them led me to attend Vegetarian Vision Convention at Lincoln Center. It was a huge convention. Can I see a show of hands? How many of you attended that convention in 1995? Just a few hands. That was a huge convention in 1995. I was a relatively new immigrant, and I didn't even know such a thing existed. But because of our friendship with HKG, I attended that. And remember, I was not even a vegetarian then. So with that convention, a seed was already planted in 1995.
As my journey evolved into veganism, I also went deeper into spirituality. When you start palpating the soul, you realize the nature of the soul is freedom. That's what Mahatma Gandhi said when he said Swaraj. Swaraj does not mean just we want to rule our own country. We want to rule our own body, our own mind, and our soul has to be free. When you palpate your own soul, you will see all animals have the same soul. So why not give them the same freedom? Thank you.
One minute I take you. These are my right hand and left hand. They are both trustees. In a year or two, they will take it over from me. They are both the trustees. They both have donated today $5,000 each.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dr. Sainik Shah has donated $10,000 this year without asking. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Hita Dakar, as like my Mormon introduction showed. How many of you here are vegan that are not part of the committee? Not part of the committee. How many hands? Oh, wow, that's nice. Actually, I'm surprised. How many of you are vegetarian, not part of the committee? See many hands. Now, how many of my vegetarians over here think that they don't have blood on their hands? No animal blood on your hands. You guys don't think you have animal blood on your hands? What happens? How do you think a mother cow, why does a mother cow give milk? Because she has a baby, right? A baby cow. What happens if that baby cow is a boy baby cow? What happens to that boy baby cow? The boy baby cow cannot produce milk. It gets sent to the slaughterhouse. So for that 1 gallon of milk, yes, there's death behind there. Yes, you have blood on your hands. How many of you will be surprised when I say 550 gallons of water are put into 1 pound of cheese? Raise your hands. We're back in the classroom, guys. How many of you are surprised? Nobody's surprised. 550 gallons for 1 pound of cheese. Let me pull up some facts here. Just give me 1 second. The beef industry alone produces about 2,290,800,000,000 kilograms of CO2, carbon dioxide, per year. Meanwhile, the transportation industry, just the transportation industry, the planes, buses, cars, and everything, produce only 24 billion tons of carbon dioxide per year. And that's not even the whole meat industry. Just the beef industry produces about 2,290,800,000,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Now, a lot of you may be clapping. Thank you, I appreciate it. But I don't want your claps if you guys are going to go home and go eat meat or go have milk. My parents refuse to go vegan. My father refuses to have one samosa. No, refuses to not have one samosa. It had paneer in it. I said, don't eat it, don't buy it, it's vegan. Instead of buying one, he bought two. He thought I would eat it. This is a matter of a few days ago. And then you know what he bought? He bought chai. For those of you guys who don't know what chai is, it's coffee produced with milk. Good job, Dad. Mom, you too. Now, I don't want to take up a lot of time, but I'm going to tell you that I became vegan only a few months ago. This is very new to me. It was hard, yes, but I started off as someone who was an environmentalist, and I learned that eating animals, torturing these animals for our pleasure, harms the environment more than it harms those poor animals. So please, do not take pride in eating and torturing these animals every single day. Instead, try and actually going vegan. It's gonna be hard, but you should do it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Janani Shivakumar, and I'm a sophomore at Metuchen High School. So I would like to thank World Vegan Vision for giving me this wonderful opportunity, and of course, the Consulate General of India for giving me this platform. So we are gathered here today to recognize the immense efforts of Gandhiji in leading a national movement of ahimsa. His work not only impacted Indians, but also the lives of millions across the globe. A global movement started by just one person had the power to touch many individuals, yet his vision for a world free of violence has not been achieved. So it is time for us to accelerate a new global ahimsa movement that was sparked out of the need to speak out for the most oppressed beings on the planet. Gandhiji's movement was to gain freedom for India. Our movement is to gain freedom for animals and freedom for the planet. This can only be achieved by envisioning a vegan world. My journey in the vegan movement, one of the fastest growing movements in the world, began when I had a chance to meet Neetuji and Avinashji from World Vegan Vision at an International Day of Yoga event. That has remained a major turning point in my life, and I went vegan immediately after the event. I have now learned all the facts that I need, and I've understood the reality of the meat, dairy, and egg industry, which meant there was no good reason for me to continue eating animal products. But being vegan wasn't enough. After hearing about the atrocities that go on in such industries, I knew that I had to speak out about it. After all, the concept of veganism was created to end all forms of animal exploitation as far as practically possible. So I began my journey as an animal rights activist a month after I went vegan and have continued to this day. I have spoken about the impact of animal agriculture on our environment and how it is one of the leading causes of climate change at the United Nations. My project, Kicks for Climate Action, a campaign to raise awareness about climate change through sports in India, was also selected by the United Nations as a Peace Day project. Recently, with the help of World Vegan Vision, my school has started the very first vegan club, and I will continue to work with them to implement clubs in other schools across the nation. Gandhiji himself explained that the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way in which its animals are treated. So now it is up to us to make the connection with the billions of animals that suffer on the daily in the animal agriculture industry, to stop the unnecessary exploitation of sentient beings, as well as for the welfare of humanity and, of course, our planet. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the Council General of India and the World Vegan Vision for organizing Ahimsa Thanksgiving. As an Indian community and as people living in a country where non-vegetarianism is the norm, it is a brave and courageous thing to do. And as I heard Mr. Shah, the founder of the World Vegan Vision, speaking, I realized what a long journey it must have been for all of you who had migrated to the United States decades ago. And at a time when possibly the idea of being vegetarian was not understood, where shops did not have groceries available, where you were invited for dinners and lunches where you did not have food for you. So to persist in the face of that shows tremendous courage. And obviously you come from Gujarat, many of you, so I can understand where the courage came from. That came from the land where Mahatma Gandhi came. And today I have been asked to speak to all of you about Gandhiji. It is 150 years since he was born. And to speak about his legacy. His legacy is, of course, Ahimsa, which is a tool he gave to the world of the powerless against the powerful. Both our countries, United States, the country that I live in now, and India, had to fight against British colonialism for freedom and independence. And India was unique thanks to Mahatma Gandhi because we fought this battle without a gun. We fought it with the weapon of ahimsa, non-violence. Gandhiji led thousands and hundreds and thousands and millions of people into jails, into protests, onto the streets, with not a word of abuse spoken and not a stone thrown at any person. His weapon was a weapon which he showed to the world that the weak could use against the mighty. And of course, for Gandhiji, his relationship with vegetarianism, which all of you are talking about, and you've taken it one step further when you talk about veganism, was based on 4 principles. For Gandhiji's relationship to food was moral, it was spiritual, it was ethical, and it was political.
My name is Zali Vyasahuja, Ahimsa animal activist, and I want to thank World Vegan Vision for having me here today. I'm so happy we're celebrating Gandhi's 150th birthday celebration because I'm a granddaughter of a freedom fighter. His name was Chhaganlal Joshi. Woo! In fact, right in the next picture, yeah, does it go? He's right there in the black vest next to Gandhiji, Chhaganlal Joshi, and this was at the Dandi Kuch Salt March. So my grandfather was always at his side. He's gone to jail with him several times. He's been in the ashram with him. So he was a huge freedom fighter. And today, I follow in his footsteps. I am also a freedom fighter, an animal freedom fighter, fighting for the greatest social justice issue talked about today, speciesism. Now let me take you back 5 years ago when my journey started. I started meditating outside under a tree. And I started building a relationship with this tree. I would exchange oxygen and CO2. And so we started this symbiotic relationship. And every day I would go to the tree and I would put my hands in the soil and I would ask Mother Earth to take the toxins out of my body and decompose it to positive energy. So soon after this, I got into juicing because I started learning that with juicing, you can remove all your toxins. And I just felt so good. I started making carrot, apple, ginger juice. I made green juice. I got a Vitamix. And I felt really good. And then I would continue to go to the tree and ask the tree to make my heart grow bigger and bigger and let it multiply and multiply and multiply.
Collaborating with many of the organizations. We did the yoga, International Day Yoga with the Indian Consulate. We did in the Peace Cruise. We did in seminar with the help of Dr. Shainik Shah. He's always nice to us. We have so many people, those who are here, a different part of New Jersey, New York, and Long Island. I would like to recognize them. Deepak Shah is the FISANA chairperson who has done the marvelous job, and he did excellent. And he's here to support this event. We also have the Mark Becker, 2007 Lifesaver. All right, thank you, Mark Becker. We have the Freya, the International American Vegan. She is also a part of World Vegan Vision, and she always stand behind us and to support us. We have KK Mehta. He's always silent partners and supporter. He never comes on the stage. He always push us, but that's bad. One day you have to come on the stage. All right, and we do have, many of the trustees, those who are here. We have Long Island, Bina Sabapati. She did an excellent job. This was her last year. And we have the new president, Nick Modi, Sushil Modi. If he's here, please come on the stage. He's our new president for the New York chapter. He's going to take, the lead. We also have the Devashri Parikh. Where is she? Is she here? All right, yeah, please come on the stage and say hello to everyone. And Tejal Rawal, if she's around here, so please come on the stage. We have Natu Patel from the Indo-American Cultural Association. He is also here. We also have Ashok Bhai Bhatt. He is also from Fairbridge Hotel. He has also given his praise for the International Day Yoga. We have so many other people. We have Mr. Kamal Dandona, who has come all the way to support. Thank you, Kamalji. And many more people. If I forget any of their name, please excuse me. We had Chandraji, who was our chairperson, chairwoman, and she did a marvelous job in 2017. Thank you very much.
I'm really glad to come here. I did not know about many things about vegan. Obviously, I have met with Nitin Shah, and he has been great to me to explain me about a vegan. And after coming today, I realized that this is a really important initiative that we should all support it, because vegan does make sense, especially for the health-wise and also environment-wise. I think we really like to, all of us basically, at least try to be the vegan and see how it affects our life. Okay, thank you.
My name is Dr. Sunil H. Parikh, and today we are at Mahatma Gandhi's 150th birthday and World Vegan Vision Thanksgiving dinner at Indian Consulate in America, in New York. And my question is, veganism and diabetes. Dr. Sreniksa did a good study, and study is going on. And as far as the cases is documented so far, by becoming vegan, especially plant-based vegan, he has reduced a lot of people's hemoglobin A1C as well as total cholesterol, and we should have enough bigger data to prove our point. Eventually, it will take a year or two or help from other doctors who believe in veganism to prove our point. But as far as I am concerned, yes, becoming vegan, you can reduce your hemoglobin A1C, you can manage your diabetes well, as far as you are healthy vegan and you eat plant-based diet. Thank you.
I'm Sunil Modi, the incoming president for World Vegan Vision. I'm a former environmental engineer, and I know the impact of animal raising for meat, how bad it is for the environment. We all know how climate change is affecting the whole world, and the only way to stop that is to start treating our animals right, stop cutting down on the meat industry, stop affecting the carbon print of the world.
परमपिता परमात्मा ने संसार में प्रत्येक प्राणी को जीने का अधिकार दिया है, और जब भी हम किसी के प्रति अच्छा सोचते हैं, सुख देने का भाव रखते हैं, तो संसार में एक सकारात्मक और सुख देने वाला भाव उत्पन्न होता है। इसलिए हमें जीवन में कभी भी तन से, मन से और आत्मा से किसी के लिए दुख देने की भावना को न क्रिएट करना और हमेशा सबके लिए सुख देने की भावना बनाना, यही ईश्वर का, वेद का और प्राणी मात्र के सुख पहुंचाने के लिए संदेश है। हमें इस वेजिटेरियन विजन का स्वागत करते हुए इनका सहयोग करना चाहिए और खुद भी शाकाहारी बने और दूसरे को भी शाकाहारी बनाने में सहयोग करें, और ऐसे कार्य में मीडिया के लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि ये कार्य को फैलाएं।
Well, I've always been a vegetarian right from childhood. My entire family is vegetarian, and I just wanted to come here and experience like what's really the difference between the vegetarian and veganism, and I learned a lot today coming here. Well, I personally think it's extremely difficult because being vegetarian itself, I've faced a lot of problems all my life, and now turning into another level, taking it to the next level as a veganism, it's definitely not easy. But listening to all these people and the love for the animals they're showing, I never thought that is actually a bad thing. But coming here, I learned that, and I can actually give it a try. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, there were lots of stats that were given, like the global warming. The largest reason is actually because of the animals and what we do to them, and not really the major cause that we see as like the CO2 emission by the vehicles, etc. So it was eye-opening for me as well.
I guess anything, if you start trying, you can achieve it, definitely. It is harder, it is not easy, but I'm sure in the beginning it will be difficult, but if I say vegan is the right way, I think, and I have a couple of people in my life, those who've been like 85, 90 years old, doing very well, and I guess because of the dairy products, which I think in our ancient Hindu science, they say you should be away from after 50 years. So I guess it's better off, and I'm going to start having become a vegan very soon. Thank you very much, Manav TV.
Now I live in Long Beach, and I'm always happy to be invited here because veganism, vegetarianism is the highest energy, the highest amount of food, most healthiest way to live. And H.K. Shah, Vinod Shah, the two of my favorite people on the planet. And being a yogi, I understand through Ahimsa that I remember in 1971 when I stopped eating meat, people said I was going to die. And in 1971 when I became vegetarian, everybody said I was going to die because nobody was doing it then. And the only one who was doing it was us yogis, because we learned through Ahimsa nonviolence. Well, I was attracted to it through yoga. Okay. And once you do yoga, your heart opens, your mind opens, and eating animals just did not make sense. In fact, it made the opposite of sense.
Hi, my name is Dali Vyasahuja, Ahimsa animal activist, and I'm so happy to be here today for World Vegan Vision. And I love their mission. We need to live with Ahimsa, which means non-violence to all living beings, in what we think, in what we say, and what we do. And so we all need to go vegan because all animals feel the same pain and suffering like we do. And so I've been vegan now for 5 years. I feel great. This is my mission, to bring this education and awareness to my Indian people, to the temples. We really have to let go dairy. We cannot break the bond of a mother and a child because dairy is such a cruel industry. Once again, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'm vegan myself, and I think it's definitely something that everyone should follow and everyone can follow. And it's one of the easiest things that we can do, honestly. When we stop thinking about ourselves and we think about the animals and the environment, we sort of can analyze what our priorities are, and that just makes the whole process of going vegan easier. No, so nowadays we have so many options available to us, especially since we live in the United States. So wherever I go, I always find vegan options, and if I don't, I find some way to sort of adjust. But I think it's important that I always understand why I'm vegan, and so it makes like small things not seem so big anymore.
Hello, my name is Govind Batija. I am not a vegetarian, however, I believe that this is going to be a very good thing, very good movement, that we should all encourage vegan, because vegan is getting now in the USA also. Today was the first day of Dunkin' brand who introduced a vegan sandwich, and it was a grand success over there as well. So we believe in that. Thank you, and try to become a vegan. My wife is already vegetarian. I will try to become a vegetarian first, then vegan. Thank you.
I do believe that you guys loved it because it was a fantastic event, thoroughly, and where the youths are involved, you can imagine that how much really it means for all of us. I do hope that you will love this and you will follow the chart as well. If you do, please let us know. We would love to take it out. Thank you so much watching for TV5 and Mana TV International, where your story is going always global.